Hey, it's Theo and thank you for joining me. And today I want to go over the best decks for the pre-release Tavern Brawl for Into the Emerald Dream. Now, I've done pretty well myself in the Brawl so far. As you can see, I've had 5 runs and I reached 6 wins in 4 of them, 5 wins in the other run, with a total score of 29 and 6 for 83% win rate. And a lot of different decks are viable, so that is great. And you really got to figure out with your collection what's the best, or try and build something yourself. Lots of stuff is doable. There's not really a set meta yet. I haven't really seen many decks too many times. Now, some of the decks I'll show you will have new cards, and some of them don't have new cards. So even if you didn't buy a pre-order, you can still get 6 wins in the Brawl. And as always, deck codes will be in the description. Now, the deck I did the best with was this Death Knight deck, the Leech Death Knight. I went 6-0 with it, and it felt like none of the games were even close. Besides maybe one mirror, but even that, I was never really close to dying. Now, it has a few new cards, of course. It's got the Morbid Swamp, the Infested Breath, got the Segment Infestation, and we have Shaladra Sail. So yeah, not too many new cards. You can easily play this without the new cards, I'd say. Like, you see, I've got the Leech cards, but I don't actually have the 6 mana Leech card in it, because, at the moment when I played this, I didn't have it yet. I do have one now, but yeah, I would definitely play it if I could, and I'd probably play something like 8 hands with it. That didn't feel great, or the Exodar wasn't too amazing either. You can also replace Shaladra Sail, right, if you don't have that card. And Death Knight just felt one of the best decks in the Brawl, because you have so much removal. This is really how I built this deck, just tons of removal, so you can survive until late game. And the Brawl, there's not too much lethality, so you generally get to the late game, and then if you just keep clearing the board, you won't die. And of course, you have to kill Jaden, so you never run out of value. You've got the insane starships you can make here, and the deck just kind of has everything you want in the late game. Now here I've got a Death Knight deck that has no new cards, well, besides Creature of Madness, but everybody has it since it's free. And yeah, as you can see, this deck is a little bit different than the previous one. Now, the previous deck, you could just adjust, take out the new cards, and put in just some old cards, like maybe see in this build. But this is just slightly different build that you can also use to go 6 wins in the Brawl. It's again a Starship build, but instead of having a lot of control tools in the late game, it's going for a bit more of a tempo game plan, with just more stuff in the mid game, right, or early game with Assimilating Blight. It's the reason that you mainly play this deck. Hopefully you get a Starship piece, which is insane. Get it with Reborn. And then we also got a bit different late game. We got like Hearth, Avatar, just a lot of potential value with that if you want. Now, another deck I got 6 wins with was this Paladin deck. I also saw some people play a Libram build of this deck, Imbue Paladin, but this is what I used, and it worked really well. Now, there's missing a couple of cards I would like to put in. For example, we have only 1 Dream Warden. I'd like to have 2, and we're missing Ursol. So you can see here, no 8 mana Ursol. So I'm also not playing the 7 mana spell Renewing Flames. That obviously goes with it, but yeah, if you have Ursol, then I would definitely play those cards in it. Some other cards this deck has from the new set are Toref the Unbreaking. So again, not a necessary legendary, but I think it's nice to have. We've got Lumia, also not really needed. I mean, not a new card, but probably not too many people have Lumia. We got Shaladra Sail, which was really nice. Again, not quite needed to make this deck work, right? It's an Imbue deck, so you should still be able to do fine without Shaladra Sail. I also have Malorn, but I would definitely recommend getting Malorn though for any Imbue deck. This card is very strong and lets you sometimes escape situations that you shouldn't be able to escape. And besides that, the deck is just all about imbuing, right? Just get imbues early and then start drawing usually at like 4 mana. Cards like Dream Warden or the Dragon Skill Armaments. And just keep upgrading hero power, right? And overwhelm the opponent with your dragons. Also, we got the Nightmare Lord Xavier's again. Not necessary to have in the deck, but really nice to have in the deck if you do have the card already. And here we have another Paladin deck. This time it's a deck with no new cards again, besides Creature of Madness, which is free. And it works pretty well, right? Because the Librams are pretty strong once they get going. Very important, of course. You get the discounts early, especially the weapon is very important. But other than that, just as you've seen probably before, the Libram deck, right? Just get those Libram discounts fast. And then start using your Libram cards, like Libram of Divinity to 0 is huge, especially if you can use it on Leroy, or you get a bunch of them back with Liadrin. That is a solid deck you can pick for the Brawl with no new cards. And now we have an Imbue Priest deck. Now, I didn't go 6 wins with this deck, I went 5 wins. So I picked a build that did actually go 6 wins. I'm not entirely convinced by the build because there's Twilight Influence and Anyone's Gift, which don't seem great. But the core, of course, the Imbue core is all here. That's what's important. And just like any other Imbue deck, right? You want to imbue fast. And then once you get 3 or 4 imbues, you want to start pressing that hero power to generate the infinite value. The legendaries from new set it has are Shaladra Sail. Again, it's really nice to have this card in your deck, especially in a slower deck like this. but you can do without if you don't have Sail. And Malorn, again, just very good in these Imbue decks. You definitely want it. And as you can see, the deck doesn't have Tyrande, but yeah, I don't think it's that good of a card in this deck. Like, yeah, you can double up on Moonwell, but takes a lot of setup, and it's really the only payoff you have for that card. So yeah, I probably wouldn't put her in the deck even if I had the card. Then we have the Imbue Druid deck. I went 6-1 with this, and it felt pretty good. It still was missing some cards to right. You can only see I only had one Reforestation, one Growth Shaper, so you can definitely play 2 of them if you have it. I also got Scenarios because I got it in a pack, but yeah, you definitely don't need that one. But again, you do want is the Malorn in the Imbue decks. Feels pretty strong, although yeah, in this deck, yeah, in the late game you do miss often the hero power though when you play this, which kind of sucks because yeah, getting a hero power every turn for an 8/8, 9/9 or more. Yeah, you kind of don't want to miss on that. I also got Amelia in here, which kind of felt good in most decks. Just a nice neutral board clear if your deck is missing it. And yeah, that's definitely something this Druid deck needs because it was pretty weak in the early game. You need a few turns to start ramping, and yeah, you don't have a lot of great removal. So yeah, card Amelia is pretty good. Also throwing a card like Daydream Pixie just to generate some more cards. Same with the Hopeful Druid to get a Dream card. But yeah, if you want some more anti-aggro maybe a little bit, you can also play like the Lesser Jasper Spellstone, which is fine, right? It's a 1-mana nature spell, so perfect in this deck. Just make sure with this deck to not mess up your deck building and play an arcane spell, because yes, you do need only nature spells in your starting deck for a move, or it won't work. So yeah, make sure to keep that in mind, and don't make the mistake to throw your Brawl run, because you put another spell in it. And another deck that can be really good in this Brawl is this Rogue deck, the Aggro Rogue, because yeah, a lot of people are playing somewhat slower decks, I'd say. So you can kind of punish them by playing a faster deck, like this Rogue deck, throwing a bunch of the new cards. And we got Xavier's, but I don't think it's necessary if you don't have it. So yeah, no legendaries needed for this deck. And yeah, what you want to do, right, is aggro down your opponent fast. We got the new card, the Harbinger of the Blighted. So you want to combo that obviously with the Shadow Step. And then after that you can combo it with the new sort of Breakdance, the Web of Deception. And yeah, you get a lot of stats early. And you have the kind of the lack of board clear as well in the Brawl. It's really hard for your opponent to actually come back while you just keep pushing damage with your minions. And you can really just quickly overwhelm the opponent before they get to respond to your threats, and yeah, just get some quick wins in the Brawl. Now another deck I went 6 wins with was this Dark Gift Warlock, which of course revolves around the Wallow the Wretched. And while I went 6 wins, I'm not entirely sure how strong this deck is. It may be because I played it kind of early in the Brawl, that people were just playing kind of slower builds yet. And yeah, this deck can actually win pretty fast with Wallow the Wretched. Of course, you want to play all the Dark Gift cards with it, because yeah, you just want to get Wallow out as early as possible. What you want to get, of course, is the Charge first of all, and you want to get the Wind Fury. You don't actually have to play the cards that get the Dark Gift, you just have to have played the cards that give your minions a Dark Gift, so Wallow gets it. And yeah, after you get the Wind Fury and Charge, then you're just mostly looking for attack buffs. You can get that +4/+5 attack buff that puts a card at the top of your deck. It's really great because that means that in 2 draws you get Wallow guaranteed because it obviously gets that buff. So it's really nice to actually draw this card. You can also get the 2/2 copy with it, with Wind Fury, so it's extra 4 damage. And besides that, for the new cards, again, just running Sail. It's running a Gamagan, but yeah, I don't think this is necessary. Usually a 1 before turn 10. Also, I was running Zola, but yeah, it doesn't actually work with Wallow. Wallow actually has to be in your deck the moment you play those Dark Gifts. So if you play Wallow with all the Dark Gift buffs and then you play Zola on it, it will just be a 7-mana 6/6. So yeah, I don't recommend doing that. Also, good thing to know is Overgrown Horror. It reduces Wallow as well if it has a Dark Gift, so allows you to get that card out even earlier. So while I got 6 wins for this build, I'd probably recommend changing Gamagan and Zola into something more useful. And the last deck I got for you is a Demon Hunter deck, a Crewmate Demon Hunter that requires no new cards. So really nice, again, if yeah, you didn't have a pre-order or you just didn't get the cards you wanted. Now this deck obviously has the Crewmate cards, and again, yeah, there's a lack of kind of board clears in this Brawl, so chaining a bunch of 4/4s is great. And also it's running the Starship pieces, so you can even buff your board if you get the whole Starship with both the Shadow Shard turret and the Fell-Fused Battery. And besides that, yeah, just a good aggressive deck, kind of similar to Rogue, right, where you just punish the opponent for trying to play slower decks, while you just try to win as fast as possible. Now, that is all the decks I got for you today. Now, I'm sure there's more decks that are doing great in the Brawl, but yeah, this is what I found. So please let me know in the comments if you have any other decks you would recommend to go and get those 6 wins. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time.